Hello there, friends, and welcome to Strangers in the Morning, your source for early afternoon VR gaming news and opinions. I am your host, Wes. With me, as always, is my good friend Ruuts. Ruuts, good morning, sir. How are you this
Morning,
morning?
yeah, it feels off, doesn't it? You're like, how do I fit this
A
in
little
here?
weird.
Oh God, I gotta turn off. Well, hold on one second. Yeah, it's horrible. I don't like to listen to stuff like that. There we go. Now I gotta get it
Nice.
out of my ear. But yeah, no, it definitely feels different and weird to be here in the morning, but I like it actually. You know, one of the things I like the most about it is I'm seeing names in here I haven't seen in a long time, like Classy Grandma or names that I have never seen before. And I've seen probably a dozen people say, wow, this is like a really good time slot. And I'm thinking, well, man, because man, we keep going later and later. I like being in the morning in a sense, I guess. It's good. So,
Well, this is this is when we went on for years. Was noon on Sunday. This is where we started at, right?
hmm. Yeah. Hey, SpryGuy says, Wes isn't in my left ear. So maybe what we did
We did
fixed
it.
it, Wes. We did it
We did it! Oh my god, we're the best!
in the world.
So cool. I guess the hard reset worked. We were wondering, Spry Guys, so thank you for sharing. We did take some actions before we went live to try to mitigate that, and we weren't sure if it was going to work because there's really no way for us to test. But we did a few things. Like I didn't even tell you this, Roots, but I'm using a different browser now as well.
Oh,
Instead of Firefox, I'm using Edge this week. So I thought
mm.
maybe that would help things along since Firefox has been giving me some other trouble.
Maybe that was the
Um,
issue. Who knows? You know,
could
like
have
we did
been.
multiple things and, um, who cares? As long as it works, but I'm glad we got it working.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's working. It's Sunday afternoon. I guess Sunday morning for some of you. Um, and yeah, I like going on in the day too. You know, honestly, Sundays are better than Saturdays for us. I don't like going back to back if I don't have to.
Is
And
it
for those of
real?
you,
If is
I'm
it
sorry,
really
yeah,
back to back? If we, I was thinking about this, if we pushed the Monday show, which it already has been pushed kind of just by life, to the evening, because I don't know the last time we did a day show, and this is early morning, there's enough of a distance, and then the because I was thinking about this, Saturday and Sundays are prime days for people. Most people have, especially Sunday, have the morning off. And so, like, everybody gets a chance, except for somebody I saw. I was like, hey, this is
here's the
actually.
problem though.
Mm,
Strangers in the night is strangers in the night. Like
mm. Well,
it
then
kind of doesn't work.
Monday becomes Strangers in the Night, and Sunday becomes the old school. It's just like, I don't know what's happening.
Wow.
We keep changing it. Well, I was just talking to Dee about this earlier, actually, when we went to breakfast, because, you know, our intention was Monday afternoon was going to be the thing. And
Yeah,
just
and
by
I still want to get
life,
back to that. It just
well,
hasn't been happening for a little while
yeah,
because
your
it's
your
things
work
have been
schedule
crazy.
is, yeah, it's just like you're lucky to get it in when you get it in, right? And so like if we, I don't know. I think this is actually a good fit, but you know, I mean at some point you know, it's a merry-go-round. So, but we make it work one way or the other. So, what does everybody
Yeah.
in the chat think? Do you like Sunday mornings as this a good time? So, I don't know.
Here's the thing though. As soon as we switch to Sunday at noon again, which is where we started at, the same thing will happen that happened last time and happens every time. It'll the next week it'll be Sunday at 2, and then it'll be Sunday at 4, and then Sunday at 6 until we get to midnight. That's where we always stop at.
Well, usually, so, especially if we're doing it the same way we're doing it, but I guess we'd have to do it differently, maybe do it differently. Or Strangers of the Night becomes the place where we do the news. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that if because we've got all the Saturday night to play games, there's no. Usually that's what it's like. Whatever's going on, we're scrambling to get into these games because you don't have time to go during the week usually. I usually like to wait until the day of just because everything's fresh if it's possible, but it just depends. But I don't know.
Yeah, I would have actually had time to play more during the week this week, but I spent that time playing Vendetta Forever, and we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But what I couldn't talk about it last week was there in Dreams had put together a content creator speedrun contest.
Mm.
And we weren't allowed to talk about that last week, but now that it's over, we're allowed to talk about it. So that's what I spent my VR gaming time doing this throughout the week. This week was just playing that and speedrunning and speedrunning and speedrunning. My legs are sore. My hand is sore. Like literally, my knuckles are swollen, Roots,
Oh
from
my
pulling the
God.
trigger on the controller so much.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Um,
I didn't understand what, like, I don't know what it was. I did a stop the other day, and I had to step up these tall steps, right, up and down a couple times. And then later my legs were sore, and I'm like, dude, that shouldn't make my legs sore. But I had played that game the day before, and it's just like pistol whip, except for even more crazy. You're constant. I mean, it really does do a number on your legs. Now, I feel sorry for anybody in that contest, Wes, because I guarantee I have a hard time thinking anybody's going to beat your scores, because I've seen how you play, and it's crazy. And yeah, let's leave it at that.
So here's the thing: not a lot of content creators actually took part in it. Some did, others didn't. But I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was the only other time I've ever done anything like this was the Zombieland Quest for the Best Content Creator tournament. So I went in on that thing. I put in like they gave us, it was similar to this. They gave us 3 levels. I went in. I put about an hour into each one of them. Played just long enough so that I pushed my name higher on the leaderboard than any content creators that I recognized. And I thought, okay, I must be in a pretty good spot. And I just left it at that. When it came time that all the entries were submitted, I did pretty well. I mean, I placed in the top 5. I was high enough that I made it into their video that they showcased the top scores, but I didn't win it because there were content creators that I wasn't aware of, people who I didn't know that had beat my time. And one of those specifically was this guy called Game On Scorpio. So when they announced this Vendetta Forever speedrunning competition, I thought, well, this is a lot like Zombieland. I'm good at this type of stuff, so this might be something I want to do. And then I started looking over the names of people that were in it, and I saw Game On Scorpio.
Your nemesis, dude. Oh my God.
So I decided, okay. And then like as soon as the thing started, before I ever picked the game up, like this guy's in the creator Discord posting times and just beating everyone. Basically there would have been probably a little bit more participation in it, but he was squashing people like immediately, and people were just like, you know what, there's no way I'm ever catching up to him. I'm not even going to bother. So yeah, I mean, I saw him in a Clickster VR kind of going back and forth in the Discord, posting each other's times. So I just started in the background practicing. I didn't post my times. I kept them private.
Yeah, that's their folly, right?
Yeah, I didn't post any times until there was like an hour left in the submission period. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Oh my God!
Spoiler alert!
Excited.
It went well. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Classy Grandma's here, Roots. Donating $10, says, yes, I made it, guys. Hello. I'm so happy to see you two live. So cute. Thank you.
Yeah.
Classy Grandma. I'm glad to see you.
Yeah. That's one of the things. Like I said, I'm seeing so many names, especially the EU, man. That's the biggest thing. Is I guess they kind of early morning risers. They got it, but the
Yeah.
average person, I think a lot of people have been kind of left out of the lives. But Sion said, the truth, and this is why our audience is the best. He said it doesn't matter really what time you guys go on. Most will still be there, even if it's in the replay. But part of what we try to do the most, or at least I try to, is like incorporate the chat into the show.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do if there's like a handful of people watching because it's 2 a.m., So
To be honest, though, typically at our normal time slot, we would have more in chat right now than what we have right now. But we are on an odd day. So kind of circling back to that whole thing, like I want to get Monday back on the rails. I want to start doing it in the afternoon again. If we can't manage to do that, then you're right. We probably do need to make some sort of change. And if that means doing Strangers of the Night on Monday and then doing the numbered episodes, bringing them back to their original time slot right now, noon on Sunday, then that would probably be the move.
That would give us way more time to play games too, up until Monday.
But we won't do it. We'll just wait till the last minute.
I
That's
know,
the
but I want to
thing.
be optimistic, Wes, and like try to pretend like something's different. You're right, because at least I won't. Literally, I'm not. I'm not GT. I'm not a reviewer, right? Like he's very meticulous, wants to finish the game. I'm a first impressions. It's a
I
different.
like it.
It's different.
Space Dennison says strangers in the light.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. We just have
Perfect.
to change one letter. So, but yeah, I agree.
That makes
I
sense.
agree. We say we try and go from there.
Yeah. We'll give it a little bit of time. Try to get Mondays back in the daytime. And if we can manage to do that, then I'm good um, keeping strangers in the night on Saturday. Obviously, I don't like going on at 1 a.m. on Saturday. I'd like to get it uh, back on track to where we're going on at like 11:30 again, 12. An hour and a half earlier than what we have been going.
Right.
But if we can't, we'll adjust accordingly. Classic Grandma, $5 US says, WTF, I'm all you need, me and Chinatown D, not to mention the rest. Let there be light. Thank
That's
you.
right.
Classic
Absolutely.
Anyways, we are on a bit of a time constraint today. We have a few different things we want to get into. A couple of games we're going to talk about. We're going to do a giveaway, and then we're going to try to do some live gameplay and get all of that done in a span of about 2 hours. So, with that said, let's say hello to the ones that are here in chat. People like Doomsly82, Meppers here. Mepper said Weird West was free on the Epic Store last week. Well, I guess I probably shouldn't have done a giveaway for it to get it today, but it is
Well,
what it is. Maybe
hey, these
people missed it.
yeah, all the people that didn't know because I didn't really. I mean, I already own it, but I didn't see that. D literally just said I believe that it was free last week. So
I missed it. Like I had no idea, and I keep up with those pretty well. But
ever since
anyway,
Wes didn't do when you used to do the weekly thing, I never missed one ever. And then as soon as wasn't a part of the show, I'm like, I just started not seeing it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, our shows. It got to the point where our shows were bloating up and becoming too long. So I mean, um, free stuff and killer deals. It was called.
yes,
Was a fun segment. But I mean, we had to cut something.
free
So I
stuff
guess
of
that
the
was
week.
kind of
5 seconds. We'll just say, hey, this is what's here. Go get it.
yeah. I guess we could do it that way. Corporate Zombies here. Classic Grandma, Matt and Kudo, Chinatown D. What up? What up? What up? What up? Space Denizens here. Mepper, Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, Corporate Zombie, Rogue TR, Cornerstone City 777 is here. Rogue TR is here. Alihimbe D, 2 Year, Underground, Stranger, Game Cat is here. What up? Dan Kitty VR is here. Traveling Man 3775. Boognish 66. Looper, the Underground Game Cat. Evan Yabu is here. Silver Nexus is here. True Prophecy 22. MRI Gamer here and here. Who else? Scion's here. What's up, Scion? Salvador. Good to see you, friend. VR SpryGuy's here. Fluke Rogi. Yeah, I haven't seen Fluke in a while. He says this is a good time slot. Yeah. It fits well. It always has, right? That's the reason why we started in this one. Pant is here.
Just one.
The Game Cat. Right, only one. The Game Cat, Andrew Ehrenreich is here at lunchtime. SAS Lord is here. Let's see who else. Sim is here as well. Johnny Rypop, the Stray Cat. What up, Rypop? Phil Marshall is here. What up? DLG27. You're right, Roots. I am seeing some names that I don't typically see or haven't seen for a while.
It's nice. It's nice to think that there's people out there that might think, man, I never get a chance to ever see the show live. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, 10 a.m. well, 10 for me on a Sunday morning. And what channel is Corporate Zombies? Do you know what it is? He said that he puts out a weekly Friday breakdown on what comes out.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And so I wanted to link it for him.
Yeah, just click on his name. It should take you through to his channel.
Okay.
I would think that would happen.
Yeah, I think there's a way that says go to channel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just go to that and copy the
yeah. So everybody come to this channel every week and check out the weekly thing. I just make sure I get the right one. Holy crap, man. I've been trying to become better with my left hand and my mouse, and it is sometimes it does not want to work very well for me, man.
Yeah, I had to dual wield for the Vendetta thing for one of the levels. I had to train my left hand to shoot. All the other ones I did just right-handed. I didn't do the dual wielding, but there's one where literally you have to have that second weapon to get a fast time. So I trained my left hand up to do that a little bit.
You know who loves to train your left hand up?
My mom.
Yeah. Say, hey, stick to the right as well. Yeah, she does.
Q Creator is here. Vargosoft here as well. AppJ's here. That Dank Cheese. Ryan Brandon VR. What up? Paradise Decay is here. What's up? Gabriel 004 is here. Black Market Honey. Duggars K. Four Willin. Thanks, everyone. And it looks like we have a $4.99 quid donation from Thundercat. It says, dudes, when do you guys ever sleep, or is this what vampires do for a living?
Last night.
We decided we slept last night. Roots, I intended on getting back into some more games after we called the show off. By the way, guys, the reason why we called the show off and we're doing it on Sunday this week is like literally Roots and I got in to play the games last night and just lost ourselves in time. And then when I got out of Weird West, is it weird? Yeah, it's the weird one we're playing. Weird West. It was already after 1 o'clock. We normally go on by 1 o'clock here. And in order to get a YouTube notification out, you have to post your link 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time at the soonest. So like literally for us to have gone on last night, it would have been after 2 a.m. Eastern time, which is even later than we typically go. But I got out. It was already after our show time. So I tag Roots and I'm like apologizing. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I got in the headset. I didn't realize what time it was. And then he didn't get back to me for like 20 or 30 minutes. And then when he got back to me, he's like, oh, dude, I was doing the same thing. I was playing Lone Echo and just lost the time. So like it happened to the both of us. And we literally didn't want to be going on till daylight. So that's the reason why we're on Sunday this week.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason, so that everybody here could be here right now. So I think it's amazing. And
But I meant to go back into the games after we called the show off, and ended up falling asleep in my chair. This is where I slept last night, Roots. Right
oh my
here, like
God,
this.
that's.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I don't know if I could. Well, I could have done a show. I just would. I had like a 12-hour day. My day started at 5 a.m. yesterday. Didn't get home till 5. And that's why I got into the game so late, and I was so tired. And then when all that, I was like, you know what, I'd rather go to bed, get a nice sleep, and then be awake during the show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought it was good. We have better shows when we're well rested, and we have a little more patience and better attitude in general. So I think it's good that we're here on Sunday, well rested, as well rested as could be reasonably expected. We did have some slippies though, other than Thundercat. Thank you for the donation, by the way, Thundercat. Chris Barron is here. The game time portal is real. I walked out of my room to find I missed 3 meals. Yeah, man. When you're in a really good game, that's kind of what happens sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the game you got sucked into.
Shapeshifter, the amorphous game cat, slipping in as well. And I think that's everyone.
I think I saw Philozix, I think, came in as well, and he said,
what's up, Philo?
We need coffee in VR again. And I said, absolutely. I would imagine, I don't know what's going on in their lives, but I would imagine that it's about time for them to start coming. Usually they take a break and then they'll come back for a while and amaze everybody, because it's like they never left. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's such an awesome community.
Well, the release schedule is about to pick up in a big way. We're about to get some big titles to finish the year off. True. So I would expect, if they're going to come back for anything, that'll be a good time and a good reason. What's up, Fabster? Good to see you. Roots, why don't we get into it a little bit here? Let's see. What do we have first? Is Lone Echo first?
Yep.
Or okay, cool. Let's start by talking a little bit more about Lone Echo 2. This is a game that we touched on briefly last week as we were giving our review of the Revive, using Revive with PSVR2 to play all of the Oculus exclusives. And I got hooked in again on it last week and didn't want to stop playing it. So we just decided to cover it again this week. And I did continue to play it in my in my PlayStation VR2 headset. But I will say this, I had a little bit of trouble initially, Roots. When I went back to my game, I think it was Friday or maybe Thursday, the thing just would, I tried to load my save and it would never load. It would just stay stuck on the load screen. And
you weren't starting over either. Right? You're like, no way I'm starting over.
That wasn't my intention, no, initially. But I did some research online. This is something other people had trouble with in years past. I have a theory as to what causes it, but I haven't tested it to verify. I think what might be causing it, if you go into the graphical settings and shift it from low to medium to high. For me, when I put it on high, it gives me a little red X on the bottom of the screen telling me.
Me too.
Yeah. So I think that might have something to do with it, because some of the things I was reading in these Reddits and things, people were saying that that there's an error message that's somehow coming up in the background, and it's an error message that has to do with your graphics. And if you can manage to get into where that's at and clear it, then the game will finish loading. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my theory. Since it is giving me that red X, that maybe there is some kind of message in the background that I couldn't get to clear.
Mm.
But I tried everything, man. Like I tried loading other saves. I tried loading it with um my Quest instead of my PlayStation. Nothing worked until I uninstalled and reinstalled the game, and it finally started working as it's supposed to. The only problem was when I did that, I lost my save and I had to start all over again, which was unfortunate because I still haven't played quite as deeply into the game as I would like. Um,
That's one of the reasons. It's kind of hard to continue to play deep into a game when suddenly your progress is gone. I don't know what caused that. I had that red X as well, and I was a little put off. I'm like, dude, I got a fucking 4090. Why is there an X there? I just assumed it was, like some kind of an error, but I mean, I didn't have any issues.
no, it ran fine, right?
Yeah, it ran great, and I mean, I even cranked it up to like 1.5 resolution in game, right? So, and it ran good. So I
I'll
don't
tell you
know.
what, though, this is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. I mean, what you're looking at here on the screen is a medium preset. I pulled it back a little bit since I was capturing. Not that I didn't test it on high. It may have worked just fine on high, but I did it as a precaution. But what you're looking at here is medium graphical detail with the PSVR2 headset, and it was stunning and beautiful. Um, but I did want to say this, since I did get my Quest back out and had it ready to go, I did a little A/B on this because most people agree with us, Roots, that the picture in the PSVR2 headset is superior. It's just so much brighter. The field of view is so much better that it's a better experience for me. But there have been a few people that say I prefer my Quest. It's sharper.
Hmm.
So I did the A/B on it, and yes, that's true. When sitting stationary and just looking at a still picture, it was definitely sharper. It was also significantly duller
Hmm.
and less colorful. It was less bright, less colorful. But with on that aside, um, like I said, it was sharper when I wasn't moving. But when I would move my head or turn the stick, there was distortion. There was distortion on everything. So like the sharpness just kind of got negated
Hmm.
immediately by distortion that I was seeing. And when I did A/B testing, again, this is on my rig. Results may vary computer to computer, but on my rig, using the link cable versus using the PlayStation VR2 with the converter, the picture quality is night and day different. Like it's way better on the PlayStation VR2. So I don't know if these people are setting it up different. Maybe they're tweaking virtual desktop to improve the picture, but using the link cable and doing an A to B test, man, it's no contest. Like the PSVR2 headset wins hands down for me.
Yeah, I don't know what people are seeing, but yeah, I agree. I actually even ended up just not wanting to deal with some of the my PlayStation issues that I was telling you about last time. So I played it in the Quest Pro, and it was really good. But I definitely missed the field of view. I just
Right.
wanted to play more native because one of the other game or the other game that we played, it just didn't run the best for me for some reason, even with my Quest Pro.
Yeah.
And
People are starting to say that a little bit more too, that they're having various performance issues in it. I haven't had any. Keeping it on 90 hertz with 100% Steam VR resolution, it has run perfectly for me, which to be honest, was kind of surprising because it's got basically the same resolution as my HP Reverb G2, but for whatever reason, when I run on G2, a lot of the time I have to pull the resolution back to like 70 and 80 to get it to run smooth. And I just haven't had that with PSVR2. It's run perfectly smooth every time.
It must,
So
reverb must like default to a higher thing or whatever, and maybe Sony's more
maybe that's
optimized
it.
or something. Somebody had asked or said something in the chat that made me think, or actually I was thinking about this earlier, but like they said Quest 3 or Quest, I guess in general, needs a display adapter, right? Is there a possibility that like could they make a breakout box that allowed you to use your display port? Like, is it possible to not
Um,
have to use their jank ass? You still got to use their link, or I guess that would be the thing. You'd be able to use any cable like that, right? It's not a proprietary
yeah.
cable.
It just depends on what kind of USB-C that they've got connected. I mean, it's possible that they have a USB-C in there that's capable of DisplayPort. They just have it disabled. I think it's more likely though that it's just not able to do that.
Well,
Um,
Meta, if you're
they
out
just use
there,
them.
do it, please. Like, you would take every bitching thing I'd say about the compression, all that just disappears, right? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
Yep. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Lone Echo 2. That because even though I did have to start all over, and I still haven't made it quite as far as I would like to have before this episode, I did make it further than I had before. Um, and honestly, I'm not going to have a ton to say about the game that we haven't already said. I mean, I think people know what this game is. It's um it's all about immersion, the production values being super high, the physics being really good, and the story being really good. It's like being in a science fiction movie or something and playing it out yourself.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, you have a part to play, right? So,
right. But basically, what I've come to learn, or at least it seems to be the case so far in the game. I still haven't finished it, and I am going to keep playing it and eventually get to the end of it. Um, at least so far, this game seems very similar to the original Lone Echo to me. Like it's the way that the game is playing out so far is pretty much a mirror in terms of the gameplay. It's pretty much a mirror of the original Lone Echo, and basically what I'm saying by that is the gameplay is pretty boring to start the game. I mean, the game in general, the gameplay is pretty much fetch quest, right?
mhm.
You got to go in here and flip a switch. You have to go find some items, basically do some problem solving to open up doors and access other parts of the ship. That sort of stuff. And at the beginning of the game, for quite some time, you're pretty limited in your abilities. You don't have a very extensive tool set. There's only a few different things you can do. But as the game rolls on, new tools are unlocked, new abilities are unlocked, and the game starts to open up a little bit, even though it's still at its core is a fetch quest. Roots, would you agree with any of those statements I just said?
Yeah, 100%. Especially when it's like early on where she's like, "Hey, can you go get this?" And you like literally go to the other side of the room and grab it
Yeah.
and bring it back to her, and you're like, "Here you go, you lazy bitch." Um, and to be fair, she's probably tired. She's been, I don't know. This is my biggest takeaway. Um, with me going back into this because I do kind of want to go back through this because I had a little bit of hard time getting through the monotonous fetch questy part, but I don't trust that fucking AI. You said it the other day, and I have such a bad feeling about everything. Like it's so shady, and maybe it's like got some backstory that it's like trying to protect me or us, and it can't really divulge that. I don't know, but every time I turn around, something weird's going on with that son of a bitch, and so I don't trust it. I mean, to the point where we were told everything's fine, and then all sudden the power goes out, and now we need to evacuate. I'm like, no, dude, like what happened? We went from everything's good to you need to get out. So I don't trust it at all.
Yeah, and so I've played a little bit into it now, and I have uncovered some of the mysteries
Oh no.
with that thing, and I won't spoil it as to what I've uncovered or what the nature of it was, but I keep discovering things, right? Little things here and there that they weren't divulging. Um, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. But you won't have to play much further before you start to uncover some of this, and that's where I think the real redeeming quality of this game comes into play. It's the narrative. Like the narrative is what makes it worthwhile. Other than the obvious, immersion, beautiful immersion in this game. The narrative is what keeps you going and what keeps you playing through, and it's starting to get very, very interesting in terms of the story. But in terms of the game itself, it basically is following the same sort of path that the original Lone Echo took, where I'm at a point now where the story has really opened up, and now I've got multiple objectives to complete, and what order I take them in is up to me. I'm outside of the space station now, so like there are different areas that I can go to and explore. Again, completely up to me what order I want to take it in. Um, I have a couple of different objectives I can pursue, or if I want to just put that on hold and just explore, I can do that. Much like the first game, you have your data scanner now, and you can spend time if you want going around and finding all the data modules to scan off. And if you'd like to turn the game into a collectathon, they have it set up for you that there's like hundreds of these things that you can go find and scan in. And if I understand correctly, it isn't purely for collectible use like it was in the first game, but now by scanning these data things, you're going to unlock new abilities and things like that. So that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, man, the original Lone Echo was great. I played all the way through it, and this one is turning out to be very, very similar to the first one with some upgraded graphics and a bit more of an expansive story. It seems like a bigger world to explore, like the area that you're in. There's a lot more going on with it. So, yeah, I'd say it's a sequel to Lone Echo, but it's more like
Continuation.
yeah, more like a chapter 1B, so to
Right.
speak, than a true part 2.
Yeah, because we always say like a true sequel is better in every single way, and I think this is more of the same. Now, when you hear me say that, don't get me wrong, the same is amazing, but like my biggest thing, and this is where I was saying the other day, and where this thought comes from, like after I've done it once or twice, you don't need to have me torch the bolts off or panels off. It just gets old
Right.
after a while. I'm going over there to flip a switch. I know what I'm gonna do, and it really to me doesn't add anything. It's just one more thing that I'm like, okay, pull it off, flip it. But the story is so amazing, and the immersion, and you really, I think the dialogue tree. I love the fact that like I can have her ask me a question and I can answer with a joke, and then it just the dialogue shifts, and there's a lot to that. It makes you feel like you really are Jack, and there is a bond become between you and her. Now let me ask you this: if you haven't finished the first game, am I missing something? Like, is there like something that I should know, like that I've like I'm in the dark because I didn't finish the game, and I
Oh,
shouldn't
you didn't
even be
finish the
playing the
first
second
one?
one.
I thought we all finished the first
I don't
one.
think I did. I don't remember the ending of it. So I might have got really far into it. I remember going like parts where you were like having to go through these long areas with like
Yeah, but
dodging
you
stuff.
were there, like where you saved her life. I remember you talking
So
about this
maybe I did,
specifically.
and I just forget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that you finished it, or you made it right up to the
right to
end.
the end. Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I do love
but
spacer though.
yeah, I'll be glad to fill in some holes for you offline. I don't want to spoil it for those who are taking their PSVR headsets and playing through
That's
both of
true.
them right now.
That's true.
But I mean, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of this one, they give you the option to kind of get up to speed, so to speak. So you don't have to play the first one to pick this one up. If you have any kind of deduction, you can kind of pick up through dialogue and things in the first hour or so of the game, and kind of put together what happened at the end of the last one. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff I could explain to you if you don't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
People in the chat are saying, you know who else likes to have their holes filled?
My mom.
Yeah, she does.
yeah,
A
she's
lot.
got a
Craving.
supermassive black hole.
Yeah, she's got a craving for something. Wes. I'm just gonna leave it there.
So yeah, Scion says I found the first half hour of the game boring as heck, and almost called it quits. But then it picked up after that. Yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty slow for me. Like the first 2 hours
Pacing.
are pretty
It's a
slow.
pacing issue.
But no, it was the same thing in Lone-Echo 1 though. I mean, it was the same way. But after you get outside the spaceship and get all of your ability to maneuver unlocked, then the game gets a lot more fun after that. The exploration does anyway.
I did like. I enjoyed the feel of weightlessness and VR, and you know the physics in this is next to none, right? So
Yeah, no, it's exceptional. And by the way, being outside the ship here in outer space in that PSVR headset is just
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it's so
all
beautiful.
black, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just bright. It's not just the blacks. I mean, everything's so bright.
But it contrasts.
And
The
vivid.
contrast, right? I mean, everything else is gonna pop because of that dark black. That's what I love about OLED.
Yeah. It's really good. But I really don't guess there's much more to say about it than that. It's excellent. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm glad I kept going with it because now it's actually getting fun to play. And I feel like I'm just really getting started, honestly. I feel like I'm
You
just getting
are.
started with the game. Yeah.
Well, let me say that
Um,
I don't want to put this out there, but what do you do if you go in there and somehow it's wiped again? Because at some point, like I'm not big for repetition of certain things, and so like there'll be a point I would just end up being like, I don't know that I'll come back, but it'll be
yeah,
a
I won't
while.
start over. Like I won't do that again. Now I'm far enough in that like there's no picking it back up and me playing like 3 or 4 hours just to get back to baseline. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll either work and I'll finish it, or it'll break and then I'll put it down.
Well,
But it's great. I'm really enjoying it so far. Highly recommend it. It does. These games don't go on sale, people. They don't. But if this is something that you want to pick up, tag me on Discord. There's a invitation link in the description down below. Tag me on Discord, and I will send you a referral for any of these Oculus PC games, and you'll get 15% off, I think, on these, which on a $40 game is a significant savings.
Right.
So just hit me up, and we'll hook you up. I would have just put the link in the description. That's what I used to do, but now you have to be friends or followers in the meta system for the referrals to work. So yeah, I'll just keep it to the Discord. Like if we're not friends, I don't care to go in and follow you and have you follow me. But I'm not going to just put it up on the video for whoever, So just tag me up. We'll get you a discount and get you started on these awesome, awesome games.
Game Cat Andrew
Aaron
Reich. Okay, sorry, my monitors are ways away. Says I'll take you up on that. Definitely want to try this. Well, it's definitely worth playing for sure.
Cool, man. Hit me up. Well, yeah, you should try. This is one of those type of things that you if you want to put somebody in VR and just wow them and show them the possibility of what VR could be, this is a perfect game for that. You put somebody in this and it's so beautiful and the sound is so perfect and the physics is so perfect and the view is just so like jaw-droppingly beautiful.
And the story is top notch, and the game is, and maybe we're looking at it wrong in a way. It's like designed for newcomers in a sense, right? Like,
yeah, kind of is.
If they count somebody brand new to VR comes in, like it's right, everything's perfect for them, right? So, I don't even think you could get sick with this type of movement the way it is. So,
yeah, I'd be surprised, especially the way that they do it. They don't give you like your top speed thrusters until like hours into the game. So at the beginning, it's literally the only thrusters you have just push you like a mile per hour in whatever direction. You just slowly float toward whatever. Now you can go faster by grabbing things and kind of throwing yourself around, but they literally don't give you your high speed thrusters until you're ready to go outside.
yeah.
And it takes a couple hours to get to that point. Anyway, check it out. It's awesome. I really enjoyed it. Runs well on the PlayStation, flawlessly for me in Revive. I haven't had really any trouble out of Revive. I haven't played every game yet, but the ones that I have played have all run very well and way better even than with my G2. So, again, the PSVR2 continues to surprise me at how well it works and how compatible it is right out of the box. It was definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah, there is a procedure though, right? As far as like a way to do things in an order that will make things run better that I see people talking about in the Discord. That
Yeah, well, some people are saying that I think it was Void Citizen was saying that that his Steam VR isn't recognizing his PSVR headset, and it won't if you start Steam VR first and then try to turn your headset on. Oftentimes, it won't pick it up that way. The way I do it is I start the headset first, have it turned on, and then I open up Steam VR, and it recognizes it every time for me when I do it that way.
you have
Now
to
there
run
are
that
other things.
PSVR2 app.
No, you just have to set that you only literally you just use that for room setup the first time you run it, and after that you don't have to ever go back into that. I haven't had to pull it up once, so
Okay.
Again, you have to do it the way I do it. So like I have Steam VR pinned on my taskbar in Windows, so like I don't even go into like Steam. I have Steam running in the background, so my library is unlocked. But I don't even go into Steam. I turn my headset on. I click on Steam VR. The little Steam VR thing pops up and shows that my headset's connected. Then I hit the button on each one of my controllers. They come on, and then I just put the headset on and play. Like you never have to use the PlayStation app anymore or any of that stuff.
Nice.
And the Revive now is integrated right into the Steam VR. So like you don't even have to go into Revive anymore. You just go into the headset and click the Revive button, and it pulls your Oculus menu up for you.
That's crazy, right?
It all works very well.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, let's move along here. We're almost an hour in, so I want to really quickly talk about Weird West,
Not Weird
which was our
West, Weird West.
no, I'm Weird West. This is Weird West, which is our mod of the week. This is a flat game that is fully playable with just one click in the UEVR mod. And I really didn't know what to expect about this game, Roots. All I knew is that you said it was good, and that's it. I didn't watch any gameplay video of it. I didn't know what it was at all. So I was kind of surprised when I got in, actually, to find out that this is a top-down role-playing game. It didn't really surprise me that it was top-down. I mean, there are a lot of games that are top-down and isometric. But the structure of the game I was not expecting. This is like an old school RPG game where you're going to different areas and you're like talking to each one of the individual townspeople, and everything is searchable. You'll find resources and items everywhere for you to scavenge and pick up and collect. Very much an old school premise. I mean, I was playing games like this on the 8-bit Nintendo Roots. So I think that was probably the biggest surprise for me, is just the type of game this is. I wasn't expecting it.
I just every time, even today, I went in earlier this morning when I first woke up for like an hour. I'm surprised by stuff. Like I got sent on this. Well, first off, I logged into my game where I left off, and I forgot I had gotten a follower or a posse. You can build a posse, right? You come across different people. You can invite them to join you. And so I had this guy, and you can gear him up, and you can change all this stuff. And so we went on a quest for this girl's diary, her dad's diary, and went in there, and it was like an abandoned town. And I went into all these buildings, but it wasn't abandoned. There was people sleeping, and so it was nighttime, and so I was looting all this shit. And then somebody woke up, and we got into a gunfight. And I killed them, and then I stole their horse, and like there's just so much to this game. It just blows me away. I don't know how. I mean, obviously you played fairly far into it, or a good amount if you lost track of time, right? I don't know how.
Dude, I almost played this thing for 3 hours last night, which was crazy because, like, literally, I'm just getting started. I'm still in the first kind of quest. Now, I did pick up a couple of side quests along the way, but I'm still in the first quest, and I played it for hours. Now, with that said, you know me, Roots. When I went to town the first time, I searched every building, every room. Like I searched like all the mailboxes, every barrel, every crate.
Did you get busted?
I didn't steal anything.
Okay, see, that's the thing that I thought was really cool too. Is like not everything's permissible. You'll go to see something, either a horse, you can pat it, but it'll have an option. It'll say something that says steal, right? Or different items, like even just when you start, the bodies that are, you start in there, and it's crazy. There was a shootout. I think your son or somebody in your family's dead right there. And
it's your husband.
Yeah, it's your husband.
That was one of the things that I thought was weird about the game, is like they make you. This is a Western, like gunslinger game. They make you be a lady. Like you can't switch it. Like you're just part of you're a lady.
It's part of the story though. Like, and that's why I thought it was kind of cool, because she's like giving up being a gunslinger, right? And so and she goes and gets her guns, and so you can every body in there, you can bury them, you can get a shovel, you can loot them, you can take. I mean, but it warns you, like you can't. There's repercussions, and if somebody sees you as a thief, or if you kill the wrong person, there's some certain people that, just like in real life, they'll turn on you, and you won't. They'll instantly now want to kill you. And that was the biggest thing that blew me away. And just how good this looks. It's like a diorama look. It's like you said, everything about it, gameplay wise, is different than anything I've ever played. Even the gunplay takes a little bit to get used to, but I like it. And I don't know if you got to be Santa, and you get an achievement. You get a get a rope and go down and sneak inside a house while somebody's in there in the chimney. Like, there's just so much to this game, Wes. Like, I just I love it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a fully featured RPG. I'll give it that. It is pretty deep. The combat was a little wonky for me because the translation to the VR mod isn't perfect. So like you have this like beam that comes out from your weapon, and you kind of rotate on a 360 axis, and when you're lined up with the enemy, the thing will turn red, and you'll know that that they're in your sights and you can shoot. But there's a little offset, like pointing the line directly at the enemy doesn't put them in the sights. You have to actually put it off to a little bit to the side for them to get in the sights. And I think that's just part of the translation into the VR mod that's causing it to be off a little bit. Um, Certainly not didn't break the game. Like it's playable, but I really would have liked for that to be perfect and spot on, like I would imagine it is when you play flat.
I see. I didn't really notice that, but maybe I compensated and just um didn't do that.
Well, the good thing is that by default the thing uses like a aim assist kind of, so you don't have to have it perfect.
Okay.
I tried to put it on normal so that you actually have to aim perfectly. And then when I realized that there's that offset with the aiming, I said, nope. I put it back on to the default, which kind of just lets you get it in the general vicinity and you'll shoot them.
Did you go through I think it's Waifu Enjoyer, is that his channel? The video that there's a video I had linked a long time ago. So there, if you notice when I zoomed in and stuff, there's a little bit of weirdness to the camera angles. But if there's something that he did in his video, which I duplicated, that allows you to get 3 different really good angles, zoomed in a little bit further and then further out, and takes away all the weirdness with the camera.
Cool.
And that might also be part of why I didn't experience or feel like I experienced that. Maybe whatever we did or he had us do changed it. I don't know.
That might be it. I did like the way that you can change the camera though. Like there are 3 different zoom levels on it. You push your I think it's your right stick, and you can zoom all the way down almost to ground level, and then you can zoom like way back. But there's an in between, which is where I normally play. I thought that was all really cool. Because you really do need to zoom in to find some of these smaller items on the ground. You won't. They're not very easy to see from the more zoomed out view. But no, it's really cool. It's got a pretty detailed RPG progression system with you being able to unlock loads of traits and abilities. Some of the abilities that you pick up, the character abilities stay specific to your character, but like the weapon abilities that you unlock, they'll go with you from character to character. I assume as you play deeper in the game, you won't play as the same character, but change to other characters.
That's what Looper said. He said he said you'll get to, I guess there's 5 different chapters and you play through a different antagonist every one. And so he said you get to be a dude.
That's cool.
At some point as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I just thought that was a little weird. And, I don't mind playing as a girl sometimes, but it just didn't seem... So, like, the opening story mission is like these human traffickers come in and steal your husband, and you're the lady trying to stop the human traffickers. It would have made more sense to me if the human traffickers came in and stole my wife, and as the husband, I have to go rescue
it's
her.
2024, Wes. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's a little weird. But they killed my boy.
That's the thing.
Bastards killed my boy.
Well, and that's what the whole thing, like you start in the beginning, like it just happened. Like everybody's weeping in the street. There's people, you can talk to some people, some people it just gives you like a generic dialogue. but I don't know if you even got to the point where you could like like I said, I was in the saloon and there's a lady in there, and that's where I got that quest. There's just so much everywhere I go. There's something, I'm finding something. And then I love the way when you travel between areas, like there's a time period attached to it. And some of these quests are time sensitive. Like you have to go save somebody's husband. You have 3 days to find him, and if you're like dinking around and just roaming around, it takes like 17 hours to get to one spot. You run out of time. So you got to kind of have to beeline it for it. So,
Well, I'll just tell you this, Roots. I am exacting revenge on these bloodthirsty bandits that are kidnapping people. No mercy, Roots, on any of these dudes. So they let you choose whether or not you want to, you know, um, you can just run in through the front door and blasting these guys up, or you can use stealth and kind of sneak through their camp without being noticed. Or there's an in between where like you can use stealth to get to high ground. You can climb the rocks and stuff. You don't have to stay on ground level. You can get to a high point and take a rifle and start picking these guys off from the hills. What I did, Roots, is I used stealth to sneak up behind them and take them down and knock them out. Then I grabbed my machete and chopped them up into little bits. And that's what we've been doing to these guys, is just chopping them up.
I am shocked and appalled that you didn't go the route I did and drown them or set them on fire. So that's what I love about
some
this.
of that.
There's so many, like you can take them and they're knocked out and you can go hide them in bushes. But if you go throw them in a body of water, they're going to die because they're knocked out. And I found that out. I just and those lamps, right? You can carry those lamps and you can throw them at them and catch them, burst them into flames. I just think it's cool and it's unique.
Lots of ways to dispose of these guys. Like when they're in groups, it's harder to sneak up on them. So that's when I started blowing them up. Like there's dynamite, there's Molotov cocktails laying around. So like you said, the lamps, there's loads of like oil barrels and things you can use to blow them up. So I just started blowing them all up in groups. And it literally mangles their bodies. It's pretty gruesome, honestly, at times, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Have you ran into a supernatural aspect of the game yet?
Just a little bit. I found like a spell book or something on the roof. There was like this symbol drawn onto the roof. You could tell people had been up there doing some kind of ritual. So I found like the spell book, or it wasn't a spell book. It was called something else, but it was some kind of occult book I collected. And then shortly after I found that, I found a newspaper and started reading through it. And the newspaper was even talking about how certain townspeople are suspected of practicing witchcraft and things like that. And people were reporting to see apparitions and things in the town.
Some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, that's about the extent of what I've seen so far with it.
Well, it gets even weirder, and it's like it's just so much more than just. Let's just put it this way: otherworldly. Like I don't know what the hell's going on in this story, but it's so much more than just the main basis of the story. But the beauty is everything you said is true. It's an RPG. It's you make the story. The story is developed by which quest you're picking up, what you decide to do. You can tell people to go take a hike. I'm not going to go get your diary for you. You're going to miss out $100 because that's what I got. What about this part? Wes, did you break the fingers?
Oh yeah, eventually I started by just threatening the guy, but he was a smart ass. So, I mean, I eventually had to break his fingers to get the information out of him.
Yeah. No, I recommend this game to anybody. I do recommend going to Waifu Enjoyer's channel, and I believe that's what it was. It's where it's at. But he's just got a short 2 or 3 minute video, and at the very beginning, he's not even talking. It just shows him setting up a couple of settings in there that balances everything out and really fine tunes that zooming to where it feels really good. There's no weirdness to it. So
Cool. And if you don't want to tinker with it at all, it plays perfectly fine. Just loading it up and injecting it with the 3D injector. The only issue I saw with it was the aiming thing that I talked about. And again, that was not really an issue. It was just annoying more than anything. But I continued to play it. I played it for hours and lost time in it. So it's very good. I do recommend it to people to check it out. And if you're someone who collects games from the Epic Game Store, apparently it was free last week. But if you're not someone who collects the Epic Game Store, I've got a Steam key ready to give away right now to the first person in chat who can answer a question that I have not come up with yet, Roots. But we're going to give away one in the chat, and then we're going to give one away in the comments. So if you're watching this after the fact, just leave a comment on the video down below saying that you would like to enter to win a copy of Weird West on Steam. And then on next week's Strangers in the Night, we will draw a winner and give out the key. Pant said it wasn't free. It was part of the Prime Gaming free games.
No, D said that also came out last week as well, or a couple weeks ago. Prime, Amazon Prime had their game. Was one of their games.
Philozic says, I'm not sure this is my type of game. Hey, dude, this is like literally a top-down RPG. Like, I'm sure you've played these types of games before. If you enjoy top-down RPGs, then you'll enjoy this one. If you don't, then you won't. It's a very deep game with lots of possibilities. It's a fully featured RPG, and it's cool, Roots. Like we see this oftentimes in modern times now, where these independent developers are making games in the old format, right? They're picking up the old format from when we were a kid and just modernizing it. So the core structure of the game is the same as it was 30 years ago, but it's more modernized, where like there's ultra violence in it, and the the quest can be like super deep and long now, and there's like a lots more like there's better animations, there's lots more like items and things, just because the computers are so much stronger now. So like it's literally, these are like the modern versions of classic gameplay loops, which I think is great. This is the sort of stuff we used to dream about.
Well, this is the thing. This gameplay loop works. And that's what I've been screaming about so long, is like a lot of developers are trying to recreate things that already work. Well, why not bring those things that work into VR? I mean, not everybody, because you still need the people like Lone Echo too, and build us the amazing games from the ground up. But also bring us these as well. And like somebody said in the chat, if only we knew I think it was Looper, a company that could take a game and fine tune and polish all the little mini things and bring this into multiple platforms. So I just going back into it again, Wes, today, I reminded me, how good it was. And I just jumped in and picked up right where I was left off, went on another quest or two, and I was right back in it. And it was cool, sneaking around, killing people, setting them on fire. Every good, growing kid needs, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. So what it was, Roots, is the free copy came from Prime Gaming, but the copy that they gave out was on the Epic Games Store.
Oh, so it's a mix.
So you had to go, so you had to go to Prime Gaming to get it, and it ended up in your Epic Games library. So that makes more sense.
Almost nobody got it then, basically. Right. So that's good. That means you have a good chance to get it right here.
So first person on my screen to answer this question will win a copy of Weird West on Steam. So the question is this. So this is Weird West. It is a flat game that we have made into a VR game using the Universal Unreal Injector, UEVR. We recently used UEVR to make another flat game into a VR game. It was also named something West. This is Weird West. What was the other West game that we recently covered with UEVR? Tell us what that game was called and win a copy of this game.
Mash's pick. That was good. That was a good game, actually. I saw that video today. And I was going to tell people.
AppJ.
I was going to
got it.
Tell anybody if you want to see the actual video of me playing this video. This is on the channel for patrons. I just literally re-downloaded it today because I realized I deleted it. But you can go watch me play through this and get my commentary as I'm killing these guys.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, this is like Ruuts said, this is up for patrons to watch on the Patreon. And with that said, that reminds me, Ruuts, I do have that Lone Echo 2 gameplay that we were looking at earlier. I'm going to upload that for patrons as well. So that'll be an exclusive video that they'll get this week as well. But congratulations, AppJ. You are the winner. Hit me up on the Discord to claim your copy of Weird West. And for those of you who tried but weren't quite quick enough, just like I said before, leave a comment on the video after we finish that says you'd like to enter the second chance drawing for Weird West, and we'll give another copy out in a week. Anyway, that's Weird West. It was fun and definitely a ton of game here for people to play. Just another example of how UEVR is making things better for PCVR gamers in general. With that said, I want to bounce back to another Oculus exclusive that we played this week, Ruuts. We played Arktika.1. And this is a really strange situation, Ruuts, because this is an Oculus exclusive. Like, literally, this game was funded and published by Oculus Studios. High quality AAA game for VR from back in the day that I never played. Never played this game before, Ruuts. Had you played this before, or was this your first time as well?
You know what's funny is, like, in my mind, I had played it, but I never had played this. Like, there's no way, because when I got in there, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I've heard people rave about this game or say how good it is for so long, and I just, in my mind, I had assumed I'd played it. You know, it's just weird.
So I was aware of this game back in the day. I didn't know that it was, like, I always kind of thought this was a B-level game. I didn't think it was what it is, which is, a highly polished production. So I just kind of put it on the I'll check it out later list and never got around to checking it out later. But I've learned something very interesting this week, Ruuts. When I was getting ready to play it, I started looking into it and reading into it. But this game is actually developed by the same studio that did all the Metro games. Like, it's literally that studio that developed this game. So for all the excitement that people have for Vertigo games doing a Metro game in VR later this year, the studio that actually did the original Metro games actually developed this game, this Arktika.1, which I think is very interesting because in some ways, like, the world that you're in is very similar to that world of Metro.
Yeah, and it's got a lot going on in this game, a lot more, especially for early on VR. I would imagine. And I think about this with all of these games, all of these developers that have moved on to who knows what, mostly flat games, because VR wasn't quite in the place where it needs to be, but it's starting to get close to where it is in that place. And for some developers, it is in that place. And so I look at something like this, and I'm like, man, this was so good so early on, and so many things have changed and upgraded and been fine tuned. I'd love to see these developers make a game in 2024. You know what I mean? Like they know how to make a game. And this game is better than a lot of games or most games. And it was made so long ago. It was cool.
Yeah, it's kind of nerfed for new players because everyone was a new player at the time that this game came out.
Right.
So I mean, it does have some drawbacks. It is node-based teleport. It is a bit of a wave shooter. But with that said, it's got super high production value, and it's got some fairly decent progression to it, and it feels good and it's fun to play. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now and show you all exactly what this game has to offer by playing through a level. We don't have a ton of time here. We're coming up on our time limit here in about 45 minutes or so. So that should give me just enough time to get set up and play through a level. So, Roots, if you want to just talk to the chat while I go get everything set up, I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll show people just what this game has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. This is definitely, a lot of ways, because people are saying in the chat that it's kind of got crucified for not having free locomotion back when it came out because it's teleport only. But I'll tell you what, that game we played recently that Wes did the competition, that's some of the best gameplay I've played in a long time. And it's teleport only. It doesn't need, not everything needs to be locomotion. And if the mechanic makes sense, which it kind of does in this, like
it reminded me a lot of Blood and Truth.
Yeah.
In the way that it plays. Like it's a very different scenario to Blood and Truth. But the way that it plays, where you're bouncing from node to node and getting in gunfights, was a lot like Blood and Truth.
Yeah, and the weapons feel good. It's cool. I just think it's something that is a little dated as far as some of the action is for, but most of it is not, and that's why I say I would love to see developers take what's been changed in 8 years and come back and build another game, Arktika.2, and maybe it's not only teleport only. Who knows? But yeah, and it still looks better than all the Quest 3 games. Although we're not gonna be able to say that pretty soon, probably. That new Batman, the Alien games. Some of these new games coming out. If everything that we're seeing is what we see, which you never know until it comes out. We're gonna have another level, a new level. It may not rival graphics of the PSVR, but I don't need it to rival the graphics of PSVR. I need the gameplay to rival the gameplay of PSVR. It's all about the game. I'm playing games. I don't know why everybody acts like we're not playing these games to play them. And so, but I think we're starting to see a lot of these developers think outside the box, and it's becoming more of a norm. And what am I gonna bitch about, guys? I have nothing to bitch about anymore. Well, you know what? I don't want to bitch. Sometimes I was telling Dee this the other day. Sometimes I feel like because there was such a lack of people pushing back, I felt like I had to push back harder and kind of go almost extreme. And that's not me. I'm usually chill, but somebody's got to push for better VR, and it's here. And Wes and Mash with Flat to VR, they're pushing in a real way, bringing these games into VR, which is amazing. Oh, well, I can't wait to. I'll tell you what, PD, and I don't know if you've been able to get into the World of Warcraft mod or not, but we need to get. If not, we need to get me and Wes get together. I would love to jump in and level a character and hang out with you, and we could get some other people and just play WoW in VR for fun. Like I got this whole obsession when I was playing it that I want to raid, and then I got to 80 and they gave us flat controls, which I love and I'll use it. But then I got to a point where I don't want to spend the time raiding. I want to do other things. But Um, it's still next level leveling a character from 1 to 80 in Wrath of the Lich King, in VR, flying around on your mount. It's so fucking cool. But we'll get Wes talked Mash through it so good. I say we make it happen because it's next level, and it made me think of you when you were you linked to me your video of Gamescom, and you were you just how cool that experience was. And SpryGuy will back me up because he's done it. It's just there's something different about actually, because you're leveling with everybody else. So this private server is packed, and so everybody's running around doing this, but you're doing it in VR, like legit full VR, and you can even use your touch controls if you want, which is probably what you would do because most people do. But I enjoy using the keyboard and mouse because it gives me more control. But either way, there's something that's nice about playing it with the touch controls too. You can just, like D says, you can kick your feet up and just level, just play. That's cool. But it is an experience, Philosix. If it's done right, and so my thing is, and Mash said this a while ago, and I think it was about that one game, The Hitchhiker or whatever it was. Like, you got to give people a reason to have it be in VR to begin with, something that gives you more, and that game didn't. And so, in some aspects, I look at VR as it can be just another way to play a game, and it shouldn't be. It should be like the developers should be making it more special. Like, there really should be no way that a flat gamer can say, I played the game and I had the same experience as you. Like, no, dude, you weren't in the world with, like, we played it the same way. We both used a controller, but you didn't have the same experience as me. But I feel like a lot of developers have kind of gotten wrapped up in this, as I call it, the VR gimmick, where, you're going to pad it with ladder climbing and just a bunch of bullshit, fetch quest stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for ladder climbing, but if it's taking place of content, I don't want it. Personally, I don't want it. I don't want to climb a ladder in VR anymore unless I'm getting somewhere with it. And I feel like a lot of developers pad their games in a lot of ways, and that's the biggest way to pad your gaming content and say, look, my game's 4 hours long. Well, fuck, I climbed a ladder for 3. I had 1 hour of game time. That's a problem for me. But anyway, I don't know. That's like a sideways rant. And Ruuts rants. Yeah, ladder climbing sim. There's no better ladder climbing sim. PlayStation takes the cake in the what's it called? I can't even think of it off the top of my Horizon game. It is an amazing game in so many ways, but it's everybody's said it. Like, just when you get to doing something, there's another ladder to climb, or not ladder, but climbing, and it just, I feel like that should be a part of the game, not the game, for anything, unless it's the climb. Then of course, I get it. So, no, I'll tell you what, I have not played Trombone Champ, but the more I see of gameplay, I really want to try it. I love rhythm games in general. I played back in the day Guitar Hero, Arktika, obviously, Beat Saber. But this one looks like it. What makes it cool is seeing the flat version and then seeing what the VR version is. And what Wes said, they made it VR. They took a game and they didn't just port it to VR. They made it VR. And I think that's kind of special. I don't even see Wes isn't even in the channel with me anymore. Completely gone. Maybe must have had to restart his computer. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to pretty much every game that they listed on in that showcase. I'm looking forward to it. because they all look good for their own different reasons, right? 4 different genres, each different in its own right, and each bringing something new to VR, and probably be deeper than most games that are out there, and you'll be able to play them on every platform, and that's super cool. Oh yeah, so the trombone tunes are catchy. Well, there you go. You heard it first here.
I didn't hear it. What was it?
Paradise Decay said he said but those trombone tunes are going to stick in your head when you try to sleep at night. He's been saying that you don't want to miss. Everybody's needs to check out trombone. Whatever.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot coming out of the out of the Gamescom. Did has PD mentioned his World of Warcraft VR experience he had while he was there yet?
He did, actually. He linked it to me. He sent me a video, and I was actually just telling him why you were gone, because he enjoyed that so much, and I confirmed with him that he still has had issues with getting that WoW mod working. I said, you need to get together with me and Wes. Wes did a really good job of talking MASH through it, and I would love to go in there and level with him, and create a tune. And I'll even do, actually, I would say I'll even do Alliance, but I actually kind of lean Alliance these days. Those evil horde. So
I'm still bringing stuff up here. I just
okay.
went ahead and jumped back into the got the headset set up first so that I could jump back into the conversation. But we're getting there.
Chris Richardson says, I want Flat Out. And I do too. I think we all want Wreckfest in VR. But before Wreckfest was wanted in VR, guess what was wanted in VR? Flat Out. People were modding that in Vorpex, 6-7 years ago. So, or I don't know, maybe I think it's that long. So
stepping stones, Ruuts. Stepping stones. If we kill it with Flat Out, then all of a sudden Wreckfest becomes a bit more likely,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Paradise Decay says, I would only play Alliance in VR. Well, I'll tell you what, this is the thing, and I don't know how much you've played Horde. The reason why I've kind of leaned Alliance recently is I've played WoW since it came out over 20 years, but I've always played Horde. Like until VR, I had never leveled a character to 80 in VR. I'd never been to, I guess that's not true because I did the hardcore. But there's things that I've done. I guess I never to 80, but there's things I've done in places I've been in VR now that I'd never done in flat, and it was like a different cool experience to experience the other side, right? And I kind of like it. I like the Alliance as well, and it's cool.
All right, let's see here. Profile.
Paradise Decay says the World of Warcraft devs told him that they're working on a Diablo VR ride for next year. That's awesome. It shows you that they're branching out into VR and it's on their mind. These aren't developers bringing WoW into VR. These are WoW developers making things for VR, and this is probably them just kind of keeping themselves ready for when. Who knows, man? Maybe it's being built right now. Maybe the new Classic Plus WoW will come out in VR as well at the same time as flat. Who knows? That would be cool.
Let's see here. How do I get to my settings? There we go. Visual quality. Make that high. Subtitles, master volume. Restart the application. Huh. Okay. So it's forcing full screen on me, which is weird. Not even allowing me to bring up my OBS or anything. So let's see here. How do I do this? It defaults to full screen, and then when I go up to, normally when it does that, I can go up to my PC and hit the Windows button on my keyboard, and it'll pop my desktop up. But that didn't work this time, so
That's
I don't
weird.
know what kind of weirdness we're gonna have to pull off here, but figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe I know what I can do.
PD says the WoW VR ride was sponsored by Xbox and Meta, so Xbox also has VR on their minds. I think we're getting to the point now. A lot of things are about to fall into place, and the biggest thing is AI and 5G and cloud gaming, and it's right around the corner. Like so when all of that falls into place, I think all these companies are positioned. You know, all the people running around and buying Meta Land and all that stuff, which seemed ridiculous a couple of years ago, really isn't going to be in a few years. Whenever everything gets unrolled and there is this metaverse and you're able to have all these skins and things that cars and properties and you're in there all the time. And who knows how far away, 5-10 years maybe. I always think AI is speeding things up in ways we just don't know. It's unknown now. Like we used to be able to predict pretty regularly how far things were going to advance, how fast things were going to advance. But I think AI just is supercharging everything, and it's just getting faster and smarter every day. And it's really up to the companies on how fast they're going to unfold everything, right? And reveal everything that they've got ready to go in a nightmare dystopian way. But it'll be fun too. Don't worry. Technology's a double-edged sword, right? So
I'm trying to work around here, Roots, since it won't let me access my desktop at all. When I start the game, I'm going to go into Steam VR. I'm going to add a desktop window for OBS. And I'm going to pin that in my world here so that after I start the game, I can go into OBS and set it up from inside the VR headset. So that's kind of my plan here.
It's a good idea.
See how it works.
PD said he had that issue, Wes, with full screen. He just started recording first and then made sure there was recording sound.
Yeah, I could do that if I do I guess I could set it up to do a desktop capture instead of a game capture. I normally just do a game capture though. I go in OBS and pick the game after I start it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, there's two different ways. Probably the way you said with the window is probably the best. Corporate Zombie says, did somebody finally kick Phil Spencer in the ass? Here's the thing. I think Xbox decided a year or 2 years, 5 years, who knows, to phase out of hardware. And they started accumulating companies and started going more software. Maybe because there's more known in the behind the scenes on how this whole cloud gaming is going to come out, and there'll be one box to rule it all. I don't know. I just know that they shifted so much so that Sony continued forward and Xbox just kind of sat there with their hardware. Everybody's like, what the fuck? Xbox is dead. No, Xbox isn't dead. They're now focusing on software and putting games out than hardware. They're just shifting. That's my opinion anyway. So, at least what I'm seeing.
Let's see here. I need to go ahead and get my chat in here. There, and move it up here for the moment. Now let's start the game.
Yeah, exactly. Xbox is seeing how Valve has made so much money. And think about how many companies, Wes, how many gaming companies Xbox has bought in the last 2 years. How many big companies. And they're still trying to pick up companies. They were even talking about picking up, who was it? Valve. Funny, right? But they've mentioned that, so it's crazy.
Let's see here. We want to go to
Halo
Come on,
franchise. Hell
man.
yeah, PD. Here's the thing. That's when mainstream gamers come in. People love their games they've played their whole life. Call of Duty, Mario, Super Mario, whatever it is. You know, like we can have games that are contractors like Call of Duty. People don't want a game like Call of Duty. Gamers get flat games that come out that are like Call of Duty all the time, and they don't play them because they like Call of Duty or whatever their flavor is, right? So, Chris Richardson says Weird West is still available from Prime till September 4th. Well, there you go. You guys still have about a week, almost 2 weeks. Pick it up today. Yeah, I forget the Prime games as well.
It's not letting me interact with the fucking OBS window now from inside
weird.
VR. Like I can float it around and put it where I need it to go, but I can't like interact with it.
And the game started?
Yeah.
You might have to do this. Try Control Alt Delete. Is it not letting you get out of the game? Tab out? Because that's what is happening.
I can't tab out of it. I can close it, but I can close it from like inside Steam. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's working now. Okay.
Well, there you go.
I've got it. All right.
He's got it.
So now, since I have this overlay inside the headset, the game is not like locking me out of my desktop anymore. So we're going to capture a specific window. We're going to capture Arktika.1, capture audio.
Well, as long as Xbox focuses on putting out good games, that's all I care about. Because there's a danger, okay? I just saw Ubisoft's amazing new ship game just went to Steam. I don't even know what the fucking that trashy thing is called.
Check. That's good.
And it's not doing well, Wes. Which, surprise, surprise. The Black Flag Assassin's Creed is doing better. That's how old is that game on Steam? By double the numbers, or triple than their latest release. I can't think of what that stupid game is.
So sorry, what did you say? I was in the settings.
Oh, Ubisoft, that ship game they just brought out. It came to Steam.
The 4A game?
Yeah, and it's bombing again. And their old game, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, is doing better by double or triple numbers than the new release that's came to Steam now. Because the game sucks. The gameplay is boring. And I said this when I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is garbage. But they think it's good. And there's a disconnect. And so we need good game developers. And it seems like Xbox is pushing their developers to put out good games. And that's all I care about. So,
check 1, 2, check. All right, cool. I think that's good. We've got that. We've got the game. All right, Roots, I think we've got everything that we need to go ahead and switch off here.
Perfect.
So, again, for those of you who are not familiar with the process here, Ruuts is about to say goodbye, and it's going to seem like your stream crashes for a moment, but it's not. Basically, there's going to be just a quick 4 or 5 seconds as we transition over from Ruuts' computer to mine that the stream's going to go down, but it'll be right back up. And when it comes back up, we'll be on my computer looking at Arktika.1, and Ruuts is going to hang out here and talk with us as we play through a level and show you all what this game has to offer. Anyway, with that said, Ruuts, you can go ahead and hit stop whenever you like, and we'll see you all in just a moment.
All right, here we go. We're gonna do it in 3, 2, 1, and
we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, children of all ages. I think we're just about ready to start here. I just need to make sure that everything's good with my stream setup.
I need to actually pull the stream up. Well, I got it up. I just need to, because I can't see what's going on anymore.
Alright, so that's set. The screen is perfect. We can go ahead and minimize OBS. What about my chat? Where did my chat window go? There it is. Let's make that big, like so. Go ahead and minimize everything else. Boom. Alright. Let's go ahead and clean the RAM up a little bit. Don't do that. There we go. Alright, cool. That's done. Now let's get back into my SteamVR overlays here and
You'll be good to go.
go ahead and kill this overlay right here. We can move this one over here, make it a little bit bigger so I can read it. There we are. Go back into the game. Recenter. Boom. Okay, and all that leaves now is for me to move my chair, because I forgot, Roots, this is not a game that you can sit down and play, really. I mean, you can.
No, it doesn't let you, though. Like, everything's up. I don't know. For me, it was like I sat down, and then it was like, oh, I got to stand up to do this. Fuck it, I'll stand up.
It's one of those unfortunate things, man, because if they had just put a height adjustment and smooth turning or even snap turning, then you very much could sit down and play this game. But because there's no turn mechanic, you have to stand up to see some of the nodes and some of the enemies.
Right, and it kind of reminded me of that new game that you did the competition for. I always forget what the name of it is.
Yeah, I thought about Vendetta Forever. So that was one of the things I thought about when I got into this. Is like I'm kind of primed and ready to play a game like this because I've been practicing standing up and shooting for a week, and this is very much a wave shooter, a stand-up wave shooter. But
something just happened. I think the stream ended because all of a sudden it ended for me, and everyone's like saying we lost them.
I don't know why it would have ended. Let me look.
I'll type every.
No, it still shows live on my end here. It's still going in OBS. Still streaming.
Yeah.
Still streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not streaming for me. Let me see if it's. Oh, it is now. Wait, no. Wait. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it says stream is up for me. It died for me as well, but now it's back up. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening, what kind of shenanigans YouTube is doing. I just want to take this opportunity to apologize to YouTube. Say we love you, YouTube. You are the best platform in the world, and we will never say anything negative about you again.
Well, I think we're all right talking about YouTube, but we can't talk about Apple, and we can't talk about Disney and Star Wars.
Oh,
we know that one from experience.
Oh, you know what's crazy is like it's so fluent, man. Like day to day, you just don't know. What am I not allowed to talk about today? It's cool.
Are we allowed to talk about ivermectin? I guess I
think
shouldn't
so.
say
No,
that.
That's free. You can talk about it now. It does work.
But it's for horses, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is actually. To be honest, it is too. Also, and parasites.
Okay, so future note, PD, if you before you start the game, if you do a Steam VR overlay, Like if you pin your chat window or your OBS window or anything inside the headset, then when you start the game, it doesn't just dominate your screen. Like it'll actually let you into your desktop to do your settings and stuff. So
I don't think any game should dominate my screen. That really irritates me when I do that. Because I literally had to Control Alt Delete just to get to my volume because it was like not set up for audio for my headset at that point. I'm like, why can't I get out of here? Just window button work. Didn't work. So
all right, so everything's good. We're on high graphics. Very good. If the stream gets choppy or something, let me know and I'll back the graphics down to medium. But we're gonna see if we can get away with running on high.
did you notice any like little audio glitches in the thing? Like, you know, when it kind of pops every once in a while or doesn't, it sounds a little, because that's one of the things that I noticed for me.
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know what was going on. Or
Didn't
maybe it
notice
had to do with
at all.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to cargo. That is the mission we have selected. So as I mentioned before, this is node-based teleport. There is no locomotion. There is no turning. It just is what it is. So you have to look at the node and then press A to teleport over there.
Some people would like this, right? The MAME fans and stuff. The people that usually stand in their place and literally turn in their place probably love this type of gameplay. As far as having to do that.
This was certainly a lot more common back in the day when this came out. I mean, another game from this time period that utilized something similar was Wilson's Heart, which is another one I hope to get back into soon because it's another like this. It's very high quality Gen 1 game. And of course, I put my chat window right over top of the elevator controls, so I can't really see. I guess we're going to the garage.
So you use Steam VR, right? Are you using Steam? Can't you put it on through Steam VR, you can actually put it on your wrist. Like
yeah, but it's a shooter though. Like it'll be in my face all the time if I do that. I normally just put it off to the side, like right over here. Like, what's up, Dutch Samurai? Robo Recall is awesome. That's another one I haven't played Robo Recall in years, Ruuts. And
Robo Recall, I need to go. And the only reason why every time I've ever thought of doing Robo Recall with what we do, and I've steered away from it because I think it'd be cool. It's been a long time since I've been in it, but it doesn't necessarily fit the people don't know about it because they might not know about the PC version, but there's a Quest version, so you know what I mean. So I've always steered away from it from that perspective, but there's a mod that lets you do full locomotion now and other things that would make it worth going in to try it just for that. So
right. Yeah, I've never tried the full locomotion mod, and again, it's a very high quality game in and of itself. It was developed by Epic Games, which is pretty awesome to have a VR game from these guys. Oh crap.
And it's an amazing game. The gameplay is really cool and unique and one of a kind.
So I've got this revolver. I've upgraded it fully. I put all the damage upgrades on it. I put this laser sight on here as well. So you see there's a laser sight. And then I've got this thing. I could have a second gun over there, but I decided to try this this shield thing out. So we've got a shield that we can hide behind now, which is pretty cool.
Do we know if Robo Recall? Well, no, Corporate Zombie was asking if Robo Recall was cross-buy, but I think it was actually a different version, wasn't it? Now that I'm thinking about it, I thought that the Robo Recall Quest version was a different release.
It's essentially the same game. It's downgraded visually, obviously, and it does have a different title. It's like Robo Recall : something else, but it's essentially Robo Recall with downgraded visuals.
Yes, I don't know if it was cross-buy or not. I know I own both of them. But if you own, it's Chris Richardson, as always, coming through with the information there. It says not cross-buy. Oh, bummer. But so, what do you think of that shield, Wes? You said you just picked it up. When I went into it, I played a little bit, and then something happened, and I ended up leaving the game and went back in, and it wanted me to go back through the story, beginning thing again, and I was like, fuck that. It had already been like 30 minutes, and so I just took Wes's thing and then found that shield he had, and I was like, holy shit, the shield's pretty cool. And Wes said he just picked it up. So and what's cool too is I'm watching this footage and I'm like, I've been there. It just was there.
So I haven't played this level yet. This is all new to me.
Like I said, I was very careful not to finish anything because I didn't want Wes to come in and be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I left it, and this is not where I left it.
I wonder what would have happened if I pulled it the other way, if it would have went that way. Well, the shield's not going to do me much good if I have to fight monsters this level. Like, normally I'm shooting dudes. But here, I just see these fucking Metro monsters. Again, for those of you who are just joining us, this game is from the developers of Metro. So it's got crazy post-apocalyptic monsters in it.
Spry says Robo Recall Unplugged is the name of the Quest version. Paradise Decay says there's no sound, Wes.
There should be sound. I turned it way down. Hold on, let me see if I can turn it back up and see if that helps. Hold on, let me just look at OBS for a minute. Oh, you're right. Let's see. Maybe if I click on the game.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
Yeah. Did that help? Or is there sound now, ladies and gents?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. No sound is correct, says Chris Richardson. All right. Give me just a second here. And I'll
take one for the team and listen to. I don't like to listen back in live time because it's a echo, but I'll let you know when I hear it.
OBS. I know what to do. I know how to fix this. There we go. Now we got game audio.
What's up, main fan? He says every time I update OBS, it unchecks one of my two. Yeah, me too. It's very bad for that. I'm gonna actually. I hear the sound now. So you were right, Wes, and main fan was right. So it's stupid. It drives me crazy too. I don't understand why. And just a lot of things like audio sources just automatically default, and I'm like, I didn't tell you to change. Stop.
All right, so let's get the gun out. Make sure we're loaded. Let's go.
Locked and loaded.
So what that didn't.
Those are the little interactions that are like showcasing what VR is, right? You don't necessarily need to teleport forward and move one little thing and then stop and then do this and then do another thing.
What am I missing here?
What was it?
There we go.
Some.
I got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was something here. It took me a second to figure out as well.
I had to blow up a barrel.
It was flashing, but it wasn't very overt, right? It was like it's got like mini puzzles in that way. I mean, I wouldn't really call them puzzles, but
Where'd you go, you prick? Oh, I gotta plug this in. So is this
Corporate Zombie
interactable?
says, "How did you fix that, Wes? Curious minds want to know."
So I went into the so we're hearing Roots through desktop audio, which by all means should have the game audio because I have desktop audio set to my headphones and I hear the game, so it should have the game. For whatever reason it don't. So what I did was I went into my game capture. You know, I mentioned before that I'm capturing the game, not the desktop. So I went into my settings for my game capture and I enabled audio capture. So it created a new audio source just for the game audio. And I just went ahead and enabled that. So we're hearing Roots through desktop. The game capture has its own audio source, and then my mic has its own source.
So that's actually the way to do it, right? Because now you just separated audio sources. You can adjust either one if you need to without. So that's, you just inadvertently figured out a better way to do it. Awesome.
Yeah, I normally don't have the option because the game audio comes through with your voice. So like I have to disable the game audio so it doesn't double up. But since it's not working on the desktop one, this actually allows me to use the other way. All right, let's go, bitches. Give me something to shoot.
And a lot of PlayStation players would say, yeah, PSVR jank. Well, this is OBS and like for all that weirdness you have to deal with PSVR, you know, if you want to stream with your PlayStation, you run into weirdness too. At least if you're not doing it natively, if you're going through a PC. Now you got to have a card and it just a lot of weird shit that can go wrong. I guess that still involves PC. But nobody streams directly from PlayStation these days, right?
Yeah, if I were streaming this game from PlayStation, it would be lower resolution and have barrel distortion. So I'll deal with
trade-offs.
I'll deal with tweaking a setting here and there to not have to have a low quality stream, you know.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be playing this. There's no way to.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, he's hit. I hit him.
More coming in.
So what I was saying about the Vendetta game, why this felt similar to me when I would teleport into a node, and the direction, all of a sudden there's different enemies that are shooting me from different directions, and I was like, wow, like it actually ramped up pretty quick. Yeah, this is exactly where I think I might have died. There's a lot of people shooting you.
But for what it's worth, I'm playing on hard, just in case anybody's wondering, because that's what I do.
You know who loves to play on hard?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, but only when she do. It's not hard, she ain't coming.
More coming in.
Literally. Let's see, PD says I had to replay my gameplay recording for this game a second time as my first session of our was over an hour, no sound. Yeah, whatever. See, that's the thing is like, I mean, a lot of times it shows you it's working. And nobody's, I'm not recording, Stein, if you're streaming, it's different. I'm not recording for a minute, going back and double checking.
Crap,
if it shows me in OBS it's working, it's working. Yeah, don't teleport to the other, wherever that guy's shooting you need to get him now, because I teleported over there and it fucked me.
Did I get him?
I didn't know where he was
I got
at.
him.
You did. Yeah, I don't see the barrel flashing anymore. But that's the thing, is like there's a lot of people around. You're teleporting into areas, and all of a sudden there's somebody else shooting you, and you don't know what the hell's going on. It's actually kind of cool.
Well, where's the damn code at?
There's half of it right there in front of you.
Yeah, where?
On the, see those symbols across the way?
Yeah, I see symbols.
Okay, so teleport to the next thing and look at the, sorry, just because I'm running out of time. I'll teleport to the next node over there across the way.
Yeah.
And look at the panel and you'll see those symbols. And now if you look back to your left, same symbols are right there on your left on that.
Okay.
Turn a little bit more.
So,
Yeah.
flammable, 064, environment, 054, biohazard, 854.
So they're not going to put them in the right order. It's just going to put those three. You only need the three that are on there because I think they should be the same.
Oh, I see. I see
right?
what it is. You clear it, and then you do that one, that one, that one, and that one. Right, flammable, environment, biohazard, 791.
Right. So there you go. Which anybody that says I just spoiled Wes's thing, Wes would have figured that out in about 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, I would have eventually gotten it.
Yeah, I just, in the sake of speeding things up a little bit, because I literally, it's 12:15, so I gotta go. But I appreciate everybody, and I think this game's worth it, worth picking up. Is this $40, Wes?
Yeah, I think 30. I want to say
30. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Looper can look it up if he wants.
Now, if I was being honest, and somebody said, like, it's in the future and Vendettas came out, and they said, which game would you get, Ruuts? I like this game. I think Vendetta is so the gameplay is so advanced that I want to play more. So that being said, this game's amazing as well. Anyway, I got to take off. I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Wes.
All right, thank you, Ruuts. We'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right. So again, this is my first time playing this level. Yesterday was my first time ever playing the game. So this is all very fresh and new. And you know, honestly, with it being one of these older PC games, one of the high quality Oculus ones, playing it in the PSVR headset, it kind of reminds you a little bit of an old PSVR game. It's got that same oversaturated look to it, right? Things are a little soft. The colors are super, you know, radiant. It reminds you a lot of some of those old PSVR exclusives. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have went in there, huh? Just stop talking and pay attention.
You're not very delicate, are you?
I never played it before yesterday, PD. This is literally my first playthrough of it. Like, never. I never played it on my Rift. This is just one of those games that was permanently in my backlog. So this time I blew that box thing up there, so hopefully it won't kill me when I go into the door here. I mean, if you like wave shooters, I mean, it's certainly got high production value. But it is what it is. It's node-based teleport. It's a wave shooter. You know. I guess it's rail shooter would be more. I guess rail shooter would be a more a closer description. I mean, it isn't even a rail shooter either, but again, it's a lot like Blood and Truth, but Blood and Truth, there is some branching paths and things like that. Node shooter. Thank you, Looper. All right, let's go. Talk about my ugly face, you bastard. Alright, select lane. Lane 1. Open door. Turn on conveyor. So if you guys are wondering why it is that I can actually see these guys when they're hiding behind cover, that's an upgrade that I put on my gun that allows me to see the enemies when they're behind cover. Yeah, she does, PD. Alright, where are we at? Let's screw something up here. Oh, we got blown fuses. Is that what's up? Alright, I gotta get into this thing. Again, this was groundbreaking gameplay back in the day. Doing stuff like changing fuses. Look at that. Yeah. I suppose you could say that, Follow. Oh, why is there oh, I get it. How do I get back there and get that guy? Am I just stuck now or what? Oh no, here we go. Chase me, you prick! Oh shit, somebody shot me. There's more than one of them, I guess. Yeah, I know, right? Good graphics always helps. Oh crap, forgot about this thing. Damn. Maybe I should have played on easy. Or at least normal. Where you at, prick? Let's see ya. Come on, asshole.
I need cover. Reloading.
Gotcha. Where's the shield generator for that one at? I don't see it. So this one's getting a protection from somewhere. But I don't exactly see where that's coming from. Oh, I guess I could use the computer screen right in front of me. Remove shield. That makes sense. There we go. Hey, Tiffany. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the donation. Oh crap, there's another one here. What the hell? What did I miss? Oh, okay. Look, what the hell? Alright, where's the node? There it is. What the hell? What was hitting me? It didn't sound like a gun, regular gunshot, for sure.
Die already, damn it!
No.
Fucking bastard! We're taking it down now! Oh! Yes!
Anybody else? Other than that guy up there firing at nothing? Sniper. That's what's up. Okay. Email. Do you want to make my what bigger? Yeah. Dimitri, I will not be at work tomorrow, so I need you to fill the 2 deuterium tanks. It's simple. Turn on the power of the room, connect the enrichment station to the power on the left side and to the ionized water on the right side. Then activate the robotic arm to place the empty tank on the station. Activate the lever to pump in the deuterium, but please be careful not to overheat it. Connect it to the power on the left side, ionized water on the right side. Activate the arm to the empty tank. Activate the lever to pump it. Like I don't have any idea. All the maintenance crews are completely bogged down with installing the new scanners and all over a bomb in a stupid shop. It's great that the terrorists turned out to be smart enough to bypass the entrance security, but moronic enough to blow up nothing other than the damn thing in the middle of the night, no less. Still, I'd shoot them myself over all the unpaid overtime they're making me do, the bastards. As for the question, I'll get my guys on it as soon as I can, and if your chief continues to give me trouble, just tell him to talk to me. Victor, I know you're busy right now, but you're always busy, and I got chewed out by the section chief over for not reporting the broken transporter. Looks like I'm worried for my job or anything. I just want an ETA on the repairs. Okay, so I went backwards with the stuff here. Alright, cameras. Looks like we got a guy posted at camera 2. Conveyor lift. Lift 1, out of order. Lift 2. Lift 3. Lift 2. Turn it on. There we go. I hear you, SpryGuy. I hear ya. You gotta get over it, move on at some point though, huh? Can't get into the play area setup. So Old Darth, were you able to download the PSVR2 for PC app from Steam? prick. Oh, you're gonna blind fire on me, eh?
Oh! We can take people!
Yes. So what happens when you start the program? It just dies, or it doesn't try to boot? Like, what happens with it? App tells me PSVR2 is connected, but when I click next to set up the play area, it tells me that PSVR2 needs to be connected. Double check your connections. Make sure that that all the cords, not just the display port, not just the USB, make sure that they're all connected, and try moving your USB cable around. If it's not working in the USB slot that you're in, move it to another one. I did have people in my Discord report that it doesn't work properly with USB 3.2 Gen 2, but if you move it back to a USB 3.2 Gen 1, that it does work. I think the one I'm using is a USB 3.1. But apparently that there can be some trouble using it with the newest USB standards. So I would try moving that USB cable around a little bit to see if maybe that's the problem. That did work for multiple other people. Looper says it could be the DisplayPort cable. That's certainly possible. I'd say it's most likely the USB cable, but certainly if the DisplayPort cable doesn't fit the proper 1.4 standard, then that could cause a not connected error to happen as well. So those would be the two things I focus on. I don't think it would be drivers or anything, unless it were like a USB driver or something like that. Done all that. Have no native USB 3 ports. Try Gen 1 and 2. Huh. Well, those color codings mean different things on different motherboards, Philo. Switch DisplayPort cable, so it's probably not that. I think this is probably a USB issue, Darth. I guess you're using a hub. You said you tried Gen 1 and 2, but you don't have native USB 3 ports. Maybe try rolling your drivers back. Like, uninstall the hub. Tell it to go into your device manager and remove the device, and then scan for new hardware, and let Windows install your USB hub with default drivers. Sometimes the Windows update, USB driver updates, can break certain things. I had that problem with my Oculus Rift base stations. They worked fine with the the Windows default USB drivers, but when I let Windows update it to a more current driver, it broke everything. Did the USB reinstall. Yeah, that's rough, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's odd. I haven't heard of anyone else having that problem. They just can't even do the setup. Yeah, I don't know. That is weird. You might try technical support, although that's probably just going to be a headache that you don't even want. But I really don't know what else to try outside of what we just said here. I mean, it's possible that your unit can be defective, like your box. That's a possibility. I don't know if you have the means to order another one and, return the one you've got. That might be something worth trying. I don't know. Windows reinstall, it seems like an awful lot of trouble to go through for something that's likely not going to be the problem. But you never know. I mean, that could reset some setting that you're not aware of. But I doubt it. Like, that's probably going to be hours and hours of bullshit for nothing. I think I'd try to swap the box first and see if maybe you have a defective one.
I'll keep an eye out while you fill the container.
Oh, yeah, we just read about this thing. Alright, so we need to connect the ion water, it said. And then connect the other thing over here. Oh, this is the water here. And then pump it up, but no, don't let it get too hot, it said. Why is it locked down still? Deuterium tank. I gotta use the robotic arm to place the tank. That's right. So where is my node that I have to go to do that? What am I missing here? Pump control, temperature indicator, deuterium tank. Yeah, right there's the tank. Was this something I should have done before I walked over here? I thought that was the last thing to do, was to put the tank on. Yeah, I understand that, old Darth, but most people aren't having the problems that you are having with it. Although I would read the comment there from Andrew Ehrenreich. Apparently you have to plug things in order and follow the setup walkthrough. Alright, where's this stupid deuterium tank at? How do I get over there to it? What am I missing? Okay, you just have to hit the button. I thought that I had to like literally work the controls to put the tank on. Alright, don't let it overheat. Can't get over 700. Halfway there.
Great job. I've alerted the technicians that it's ready.
We did it. What's up, GTA? Just doing some good old node-based teleport rail shooting from the developers of Metro. Harmonica?
Boss says you double the pay of the man who gets the merc.
Double? Oh, I might be able to head home once the job's done then.
My father used to play the harmonica. I was never any good at it myself, then or now.
Kiss my ass, shithead. Where's home anyway?
Well, my parents made it to Singapore but couldn't afford
It worked for a minute.
me out when I was
There we go.
15. Fuck them. But I'd love to get back to someplace warm.
Yeah, fuck it. Living well is the best revenge.
Oh, well.
The balcony! He's there!
Where are you? Pricks. Oh, I see. So somehow they saw me on the balcony when I wasn't on the balcony. I was over there. That it? I suppose I should have just did that to begin with, eh? Two and one. Well, which one should we do first? Maybe one? And then maybe two? What do we have here now? Okay. One, two, so we gotta clear it all the way around now. Oh crap. Any more of you pricks around here anywhere? Alright, so one's already kind of out of the way. We'll get it all the way out of the way. That's easy enough. A lot of bullshit environmental stuff we have to deal with on here. This level. Opening doors, closing vents, shooting through these grates just so I can teleport to the other side.
There's the shithead!
We need to turn on the antenna and connect it to the satellite.
This place looks cool.
Come on, we can take it!
Those drones are trying to destroy our antenna. They are attacking the antenna.
Give me some cover! Reloading!
Shoot those drones. Protect the antenna. The drone is about to bomb the antenna. Shoot it. They are attacking the antenna. Wow, that was way too close for comfort. But you did it.
We did it. Alright, where am I going now? Down here?
I'm accessing the information right now. I'll have news for you when you get back.
There we go.
Well,
And
I do have news, but it's just made things more confusing.
yeah?
The blood samples in the runner's box were taken by my mother as part of her search for a cure.
Do you know what else
And
was
I
taken by your mother?
cross-referenced the names, and every one of those people succumbed to the disease. I have no idea why 10-year-old blood samples of future Yagas would be of interest to the bandits, but it can't be good. Did you not know about me?
Oh, I knew all about him.
Ah, okay then. I guess you forgot I'm an android. That happens sometimes. They made me pretty convincing. I'm a Citadroid, proprietary socio-interactive technology.
Perfect.
Developed by Citadel Security. I'm the prototype. I told you Citadel forgets to tell the new recruits things. My nature means I can process information very quickly, which comes in handy with dealing with anything Yaga related to. Victoria Yakovlevna Dobrenina died young, during the journey with her parents to the equator. Her father, my creator, programmed me to have her memories. It was odd for the humans here at first, because I was and wasn't her. But they gave me a chance. Now I'm part of the family, almost. And... One moment. Yes? The other one now. Well, that's good news at least. I'll take care of it. It seems our second robot is malfunctioning. Or, more likely, has been reprogrammed. Fortunately, it's not harmed anyone. Yet. It's down in the airport. Extract the batteries. I definitely want to make sure we can examine it this time.
There we go. This
Thanks
is
to your stabilizing the satellite uplink, I'll be here cross-referencing the data and hopefully learning more about our mysterious runner and why he wanted my mother's data.
so. This is the end level screen. It shows how many objectives you completed. We got all 3. Shows how long that it took to do it. It took us about 50 minutes. How many times I died? I died 5 times. 19 headshots. Pretty crap accuracy, 25%. We found the secret. 1 of 1. And then we got a C rank. So, yep. That's what it is. That's how it goes. And that is Arktika.1, ladies and gents. I hope that you have enjoyed this. Yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, I worked to upgrade my gun. And again, I am playing on hard, you know. You know who loves it when you play on hard? Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you all for tuning in for another awesome episode. We'll be back tomorrow with some news from the world of VR, unless there's no news to speak of from the world of VR, in which case we'll do something else. But I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, click the thumbs up, click all the stuff. That's why we do this, so you'll click the stuff. So click it. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to all the Patreons. Again, patrons, be on the lookout this week for a Lone Echo 2 gameplay exclusive for Patreons. It includes my most recent play session from this morning. About an hour worth of gameplay with commentary coming your way. Just as a thank you. Anyway, that's it, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Tag me up on Discord if you all have any more questions about PSVR on PC or anything else. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.